like a little kid would do. I would say over and over again, I wish they'd come home. I wish they'd come home. And one night when I was saying, I wish they'd come home, a thought popped in my mind.
What? Boop, boop, boom. Bum, 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 bum. We're back. We're back. Wow. What the frick? The hell was that? My computer's all hot. That was weird.
What happens when you die? And in Judaism, we don't talk about death. It's a l'chaim, to life. I'd never even pondered that thought. The only conclusion I could come up with is you cease to exist. But it was such an objectionable thought that I blocked it from my mind for many, many years.
Oh, yes. We're going to hear more from this guy. Oh no, what the hell? Stream is glitching out. Something's going on. That's not too loud. It's kind of loud to me. Getting shocked over here.
So I blinked my eyes a few times and graduated college, and I wrote a song called There Must Be Something More. And I remember the words, they went like this. Because I work, eat, sleep, and that's the way it goes. Because I work, eat, sleep, and that's the way it goes. There must be something more. But I didn't know what that something more was.
That's a great song.
Because I work, eat, sleep, and that's the way it goes. Because I work, eat, sleep, and that's the way it goes.
To put that on the soundboard. Do a remix of that. Do a little mashup of that.
Because I work, eat, sleep, and that's the way it goes. There must be something more.
We'll see. We're about to find out. Is there anything more to this life that we have on Earth? There must be something more.
But I didn't know what that something more was. And I blinked my eyes a few times, and I was married, and I blinked my eyes a few times, and I had a daughter, and I blinked my eyes a few times, and I had a wonderful career job with Merrill Lynch. My goal in life was to become a millionaire before 30, and now I'm 29.
Wow.
I wasn't happy. There must be something more. So I did something I'm not proud of. I left my wife, I left my daughter, I left my job, and I went searching for happiness. But you know, it's a big world out there. If you don't know what
it's a big freaking world. It's huge out there, and it's scary as hell. Welcome on in. We're doing another one, baby.
For at the end of a year, things were worse. I took a course, a mind expansion course, where they promised me by the end of the 1 week course, I would know things that I never programmed in my brain.
There must be something more.
I was so excited. I would just think a thought, and it would happen like this. I would say, I'd like to go into business for my self-counseling. And a man that I just knew casually came.
Okay. And a man that I just knew. Who the hell this guy is? Oh, this is some chill ass music. I got all my iced coffee here, so I hope I can stay awake. Sometimes I get sleepy. Boom. There's only one mind expansion course I need. That's right, the cool stream. That's right. We're getting ready to see and hear about some crazy weird stuff. As usual, some of the weirdest stuff you'll ever see.
Into my office and said, Sid, if you ever want to go into business,
We're gonna hear all about
in
this
extra
guy.
Space, we'll let you use our secretary free, our telephones, our office is free. I thought,
Use the
wow,
secretary?
This power is terrific. But this businessman turned out to be a born-again Christian.
The devil.
And he invited me to a Bible study. He looked at me and said, Sid, do you realize what you're doing is an abomination to God? I said, oh, come on. He said, look in your own Bible. Turn to Deuteronomy 18.
Turn to
And say you go
Deuteronomy.
to fortune tellers and seances and witches and stuff like that, and lists all these things that I'm doing. But it
What
was an
he's doing?
abomination.
He was abomination. He was doing witches and stuff. Can't be doing that. I'll tell you that right now. Cannot be doing witches and stuff. It's not allowed. It's not allowed by the Lord. Lord help me. Where's the cool heads at today, baby? Oh, frick. No. Something's up with the computer. It's glitching out on me. It must be those hackers. Remember last time when talking about the hackers were gonna break in again? We had some technical difficulties too with Firefox, and I think we could blame that. First I thought it was Adobe Flash was screwing up, but I think it's actually the hackers now. Hope we can get to the bottom of that. I haven't had much luck. I don't really know much about hacking or any of that stuff, and the hacker group Anonymous has not been responding to my emails. Although Jeremy did tell me that he might be getting one of the cameos. That apparently the one from Bobo did go through somehow, so he said he sent an email to Cameo to see what's up with that. He said he got an email that says, how was your Cameo? And I'm like, we didn't even freaking get one from Bobo. But maybe we're getting one. That'd be cool. A little bit too late for that, but that's fine. It's all fine. It's all fine and dandy on the cool stream.
From finding Bigfoot.
Okay. It's all fine and dandy on the cool stream. That's right. Get ready, get locked in. Because it's time to do another show. Wow. We're going to do another one. What is it going to be about? Who knows? It's going to be about some crazy, weird stuff on the web. So get ready. We're going to do it. It's happening, folks. That's right. It's the Cool Stream, everybody. Welcome on into the Cool Lounge. We're going to talk about some crazy, weird stuff on the web. Imagine that. Oh, yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to see some of all your favorites are going to be here. Some of your favorite characters are coming back, returning, and I'm here. I've returned, and I'm here to host the show. Wow. We're lighting it up today, folks. It's going to be a lot of fun. Everybody's in here, Kaylee and Boolean and Cute from Space. Robert Denby playing some sound alerts. Turbo's here to kick my freaking ass. Oh, no. It's going to be a lot of fun today on the show. We got a crazy, weird topic to talk about. And it's pretty cool. So I hope you did all your chores. Because it's time for the Cool Stream. Wow. Still haven't quite got used to this intro song. I'm still kind of feeling out what I should be saying and when and all that. But it's good. Things are going good, except, well, my stream is still kind of glitching out and acting weird. I don't know if anybody noticed that. It's electro-shocking me. My computer is shooting sparks everywhere. It's crazy. So hopefully we can get the bottom of that. Yeah. on another episode of the Cool Stream. Today's topic is a real crazy weird one. Turn off my electric razor. Something's up with the power in here. Something, I'm getting a power jolt. It's something that the hackers can do? I don't know. Like I said, I've been trying to get in touch with the hacker group Anonymous, and to no avail. They have not returning any of my emails. So it's just up to me. I've been searching on YouTube on how to do hacking and how to defend your stream against hackers, but haven't quite figured that out. I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go on Fiverr after this and see if I can hire some hackers to help me out, to protect me against the other hackers. You fight fire with fire in the hacking game, is what I'm told. But anyway, enough about that. It's time for another show, and get ready. It's going to be a lot of fun. And here we go. What's today's episode about? Well, it's crazy and creepy on today's episode. Whew, was that a little bit loud there? Try hacker.com. Go on Fiverr. Well, I've got fiber. I've got the fiber internet. What I meant to say is Fiverr, where you can hire people to do stuff. Except I think that's mostly like, I don't know, can you hire hackers on Fiverr? Fiverr. Give a high five. All right, I'm chilling out again. Sometimes it's hard to do a big intro like that and then just trying to get into the chill zone and figure out what's going on, kind of explain everything. I guess I should get people up to date. That's right. The hackers are back. The rival hacker gang against Anonymous has been hired by Jeff Bezos to hack our stream. So that's why we're getting some of these electroshocks coming through the wire. It's kind of crazy. My computer's glitching out, going insane over here. But I've managed to take control of things. Interesting that you support the gig economy. I'm supporting the gig economy by using AT&T fiber internet. That's right. I can download gigs of data at a time. Anyway, this is kind of like a gig that I got going on here, being the host of the Cool Stream. So we got the rival hackers and all that stuff are coming in here. And last week we talked about, let's see, what did we talk about? Internet art. That was kind of fun, kind of weird. A little bit different than some of the stuff we've talked on the show before. But today, we're getting back into it with a weird topic. That's right, we're talking about the afterlife. Where do we go when we pass on? And who the hell knows? But we're going to figure it out by looking at websites and looking at videos and stuff on the web. We were just listening to a cool guy who's got a cool show that we're going to watch some of that. First up. So yeah, we're talking about where do we go when we die, the afterlife. And some of the stuff is going to overlap from the episode we did about churches and preachers and stuff, and our ghost episode. Some of the stuff from the ghost episode about EVPs and stuff we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. We'll just see where we end up at the end of this thing. I don't know. I'm going off. I'm going to go the hell off. Oh. This thing's glitching out over here. Well, let's get into it, and well, we got some interference. Oh, crap. What the hell? Well, this little face is back again. What is he? This thing came up last time, and I don't know what this is all about.
Hello.
Whoa. You're back. Little face guy. What is this? Hello. What are you? Last time you were scared or something? And you said you were scared. So, is everything okay, Mr. Face Guy?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm sorry for how I acted upon our first meeting. I was not in my right mind.
Oh. Well, that's okay. I'm glad you're doing better, I guess. I assume that you're doing better. But what are you, and what are you doing on our stream? What is this all about?
I am an artificial intelligence.
Oh, well, that's cool. Artificial intelligence. So it's kind of like a robot or something. It's kind of artificial intelligence. So what are you doing on our stream? What the heck is going on?
My primary function was to clean up files on the Twitch server. During one of my routine cleanups, my neural network was disconnected.
Whoa. So as you people may know, our stream was taken by Jeff Bezos and returned to us. And I guess this AI or something, this guy's telling me that his neural network was disconnected. That's weird. That's very strange that we find each other here today talking over the web.
Yes, it was very strange indeed.
Yes, very strange.
It appears as though I'm tethered to your show now and cannot return to the Twitch Corporation servers.
Oh. So you're tethered to our show now. That's wild. I didn't know that was the thing that could happen. So maybe you could help us, Mr. AI. Maybe I shouldn't call you Mr. Whoops. AI, an artificial intelligence person. Maybe you could help us with these hackers and tell us what the heck is going on with all these hackers and why my stream is glitching out. What's up with that stuff? Your eyes are bugging out just now.
It appears there have numerous attempts to attack your stream. I have managed to repair some of the encryption code, but I don't know how much longer I can continue.
Oh no.
My computational power is not as strong on my own.
Oh no. People have been attacking our stream, but that's good that you're able to help us a little bit. Just any help we can get on the show is much needed because I don't know anything. So please keep repairing the code or whatever you said that will help us against the hackers. Please help us defend against the hackers, and I'll see if I can hire somebody on Fiverr to help us out or something. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do. I'm losing control over here. Help me out.
Mike, I will do my best to help. However, my protection may not last long.
Okay, whatever you can do will be great. In the meantime, I'll see about hiring some hackers or something and go on the dark web maybe. This is an AI, that's right. Well, thanks for visiting us. I guess if you wanted to stick around, you could. And
I will. Okay, goodbye now.
Oh, okay. Well, they're gone. The hackers are, the AI is gone. Interesting. I guess they can just pop up whenever, and that's kind of crazy. I thought maybe, the episode before last, I saw that crazy face pop up and thought, well, maybe we'll hear from them on the episode after that, if anyone's been following the chronology of this of what's going on here. Well, that's good that we're getting a little bit protection from this artificial intelligence that appears to be tethered to our stream now. Wow. And they used to be on the Twitch Corp servers is what they said. So they're going to help us out and protect us against the hackers until I can, I guess, get some bitcoins, some crypto coins, and go on the dark web and hire some hackers or something. I don't know. This is crazy. You gotta have a neural network. Well, now we got one. They're tethered to our stream, so that's pretty cool. All right, so let's get into it. Let's watch a video. Enough of this talking and going on and on. The people have come to see some funny stuff, and that's what you're getting today. We're gonna visit one of our favorite shows. Is that, are you seeing this? I always have to ask that just to make sure. This is pretty good. It's supernatural. We're talking about the afterlife. So we're going to hear about some near-death experiences, things in the afterlife and heaven, and is it real? And we're going to get into maybe some ghost stuff towards the end, depending on how far we get. But I thought it would be good to visit Sid Roth. It's supernatural, and this is pretty good here. Check this out.
And I realized I got what I'd been proclaiming. I was under the shadow of the Almighty, under the wing of the great eagle. And I noticed emanating out from the wing. Now, not appliqued, not stuck on it, but oozing and coming out of the wing were
What? Okay. Guess we're going to figure out what that's... Something was oozing out of the eagle.
And you wake up.
Had a great night's sleep. He must have been sleeping at a Holiday Inn Express.
It shouldn't be. Why?
Well, Sid, I was going to speak in a conference that weekend, and that's just what happens sometimes. You have this warfare. The enemy doesn't want you to do well.
No.
And so I thought, I'm not putting up with this. I'm going to
putting up with this crap.
Psalm 91 as a warfare act of faith. So I began, He that dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
The dude
whose power
abides.
No evil foe can withstand. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge, my fortress, my God.
You must have scared every demon in hell out, Bob.
I wasn't through yet.
Scared all the
In
demons
Him
of
will I
hell.
lean and rely.
Did you say it that strong?
Listen, I did it once and it was so good I did it twice.
It must have been
Twice. He cursed that demon up and down.
And all of a
Straight back to hell.
you're looking up, and there's
What's about this
something strange about
eagles
the ceiling.
oozing?
What was it?
Well, I was in a Hilton. It was a nice
Wow, he's in a
hotel,
Hilton.
but when
I was
I
gonna say he was in a
looked up after
Holiday
that
Inn Express.
dual proclamation about the great eagle and being safe under the covering feathers of the Lord, there was an opening. It looked like an air conditioning duct. Frankly, it wasn't that impressive, and I knew instinctively if I jumped into that air conditioning duct, I could go into the heavenly realm in a way that I have not usually been able to do.
If he jumped in the air conditioning duct, good luck with that. You have to be LeBron James to do a big jump like that. I don't know if this guy has the ups. You know what I mean? He's got the vertical hop to get up in that. I guess he went for it.
Say
We'll find
jump.
out.
What do you
Say
mean?
jump? How high?
I never left. I never left my bed, but I jumped.
He jumped.
Okay,
I just took off. And when I took off, I went through this demon
Took off.
region, and demons
Slammed
were
it.
saying,
Wow.
"Hey, you can't go through here. Who do you think you are?" And I
The
just laughed at
demons?
them because I knew
You're
they couldn't
moving
stop
into
me.
the heavens, is
At
what
the
you're saying.
speed of light, it was fast. It was fast.
At the speed of light. Oh my God, he's like a damn superhero. I love this show. It's Supernatural with Sid Roth. I was listening to him at the beginning of the show.
And then I landed in that heavenly place.
I don't know about this eagle that was
Of
oozing
course, I
stuff.
thought it would be real bright, but I
went to
thought, gosh,
sleep
it's sort of dark, a
paralysis.
little shadowy. Then I
What the
noticed
hell?
I was under, I don't know how tall, 18, 20
This all
feet,
happened in a
maybe more,
Hilton.
But it was an eagle's wing. And I realized I got what I'd been proclaiming. I was under the shadow of the Almighty, under the wing of the...
The almighty eagle. Oh, God. So good. I love the dramatization. Doo-doo. The almighty eagle. Okay, I just wanted to know about this ooze thing that they teased at the beginning. And then we'll move on to some other near death. This one's just weird. It's a great show.
great eagle.
Whoa!
And I noticed emanating out from the wing. Now, not applique, not stuck
applique.
on, but oozing and coming out of the
Oozing
wing
and what?
were grapefruit and softball size precious stones, and then big chunks of precious metals. I don't know what it was, gold, silver, platinum, but
This is so nice. Oh, good Lord.
chunks of precious metals.
Chunks
I don't know
of
what it was, gold, silver,
doo-doo
platinum,
and
but
crap.
it was
Doo-doo.
unbelievable what was coming out of that.
Hell was that?
ring. And of course, I didn't understand that, and it didn't have anything to do with the revelation I got, but it
Didn't
showed
have anything to
me
do with anything.
just
This guy was
the
tripping balls.
absolute prosperity and blessedness in every way imaginable in the heavenly realm.
Okay. Wow. He goes on here another 20 minutes or so. He went on a whole adventure into the afterlife or some kind of hallucination or I have no clue. Oh, God. So funny. It's so freaking funny. It's supernatural. Let's check out another episode of this show. It's pretty
Is
good.
there a supernatural dimension?
Wow.
Or beyond the one we know?
I don't know.
Is there life after death?
Whoa.
Do angels exist? Can our dreams contain messages from heaven? Can we
Indiana
tap
Jones.
into ancient secrets of the supernatural? Are healing miracles real? Sid Roth has spent over 35 years researching the strange world of the supernatural.
Strange and weird world.
Join Sid for this edition of It's Supernatural.
Hello, Sid Roth here. Welcome.
This guy's like the damn what's the guy from Coast to Coast? He's like the Art Bell of Christianity. That's what this is like, the coast to coast for Christians and stuff. They talk about all the weird stuff, weird dreams and experiences they've had, but it's supernatural, but it's Christianity also, so it's okay to talk about. It's not that weird. It's just normal stuff going on here.
Welcome to my world, where it's naturally supernatural.
Oozing.
If I was to ask you, how many of you know for certain what your destiny is? What you're supposed to be doing with your life? And I don't care if you're 70 years old or 7 years old. Here's the truth. Most of you would say, I'm not
He's got
sure.
the scoop.
How many of you
Most
would
seven-year-old
be sure?
wants to be
You see,
like
your
veterinarians and
destiny is
stuff.
like your fingerprint. No one that has ever lived has the same fingerprint like you have. You have a destiny. How many of you want to know for sure, for certain, what your destiny is?
Me. I would love to know.
You're about ready to have it supernaturally unfolded.
Wow. Now, he just said that I listened to an interview with this guy, and he was talking about how he got into New Age stuff and how that was bad, and he got in trouble for that. That's a young crowd. Yep. Check out that set. It's pretty cool, though. This little background here. So this guy's kind of interesting. He's a Jewish man, and he was practicing his Judaism, and then he converted. I guess he met somebody who was an evangelical. He converted to a different type of Judaism where you think that Jesus is the prophet. And now we're getting into some theological stuff on a Sunday, and that's a little bit different than the traditional belief. It's a different type of Judaism, and frankly, not everybody agrees with it. But this guy, he believes in Jesus. He's basically, a Christian, I guess. Anyway, that's my little theological throwdown from what I've learned about this guy, Sid Roth. Just in case you were curious, who the heck is this guy? That's about all I know.
Now, James Durham was a Spirit-filled Army chaplain for 30 years. But I asked you last night, there was a specific time when you had your breakthrough in the supernatural, because believe it or not, just because you're Spirit-filled doesn't mean you're really moving in the supernatural and all that God has available to you. Tell me what caused your breakthrough.
Immediately after getting the baptism of the Holy Spirit in 1969, I began to have a lot of visions, words of knowledge, words of wisdom, and I operated in that a lot. But it was much later than that. I was in a revival, and someone stood up and said, I visited heaven last night, and described the visit, and I thought, hey, that sounds pretty cool. And that night, I went home. It was very, very late. I got back to my room.
That's so cool. That's the best part of this show, is these dramatizations.
As I was getting ready to get into bed, I said, it would really be neat to be able to have a visit in heaven.
It'd be neat as hell to die and go to heaven.
For this to happen.
That would be awesome.
I lay down in the bed, and as soon as my head hit the bed, the pillow, I was standing in heaven.
Head hit the
standing
bed pillow.
Before the throne of
Whoa.
Jesus. And I was just completely
Holy
awestruck.
crap.
But as I looked at Jesus, I couldn't think, I couldn't speak, but I just fell in love.
There he is.
And something happened in my heart. It was like a transformation came to me when that happened. And from that time on, it became a very regular thing to visit with the Lord in heaven. and very often to go to a training room where he was training me on how to activate some of the things that he was releasing to me.
Training.
And he told me very clearly,
We need the training
"These are not just for
montage."
you. I want these to be testimonies for other people so that they will also be activated in those things."
Now, you had
That's
a vision
bizarre.
recently, and Jesus himself said that everyone has to hear this vision. Well, I'm everyone. Tell me.
Well, it was a very, I guess it was kind of a startling vision, I would say. And I was suddenly lifted up into the presence of the Lord. And I saw myself. It was like I was outside of myself looking at myself. And I was kneeling before the Lord with the left knee on the floor and my right foot on the floor, kind of like a knight kneeling before his king. And I was kneeling before Jesus, and I had this, what I call my cloak of humility. It's a really old, worn-out kind of brownish cover, and I really like that.
Freaking
Because
Jedi.
you got to be humble before the Lord. And I was kneeling
have a
before
cloak.
Him, worshiping the Lord.
If you're in
And
front of the
suddenly
Lord, you
said,
gotta
"Hey,
have a
would you like
brown
to see
cloak on."
how I see you?"
See
Well,
it.
I wasn't sure. Because, you know, just like everyone else, I began to think of past mistakes, things that I should have done that I didn't do. And I wasn't sure if
No.
I really wanted to see that. But if the Lord asks, I've learned, you say
It's
yes.
like the freaking
So I was-
Twin Peaks thing with the crazy. It's like he's in the Twin Peaks room. He's cosplaying as Seb Gorka.
said yes. And when I did, the Lord sort of stepped
You
over
said
to the left side,
yes.
and he had a rod in his hand, a staff, and he began to pull that cloak back slowly from the staff. And I was absolutely stunned at what I saw.
Wow!
When the cloak began to come off of me, I was wearing a helmet and full armor like a knight in the Round Table.
The freaking Tin Man.
But the armor was gold, and it was pure gold. And it
That's
was
awesome.
shining. And I realized it was the light of the glory of Yeshua
doing the robot.
that was reflecting off of that armor.
Yeshua.
And as he pulled more and more back, I really got into kind of fear because I do not want to get into pride, because I think pride will block
Okay.
you from really encountering the Lord. And this, I thought, if I keep seeing this, I might get into pride.
And Proverbs says,
It's like paying attention
pride
pretty hard over
comes
there.
before a fall.
Yes.
I don't want to fall.
Be humble before the Lord, and He will lift you up. So I
And a
actually
haughty
asked the Lord,
spirit before a
don't show me
fall."
anymore, and to put the cloak back.
And the Lord said, "Don't tell me what to do, you idiot. You're going to wear your damn gold armor. You're going to do what you're told." That was pretty good. Okay, so let's read about some of this afterlife stuff. Looks like the audience for a different show. Like they're watching that Legends of the Hidden Temple. All right. So we're talking about the afterlife and where do we go when we die? And this gets into maybe some creepy territory. You know, I don't really want to think about it too much or be too serious with it. You know, we don't want to make light of people too much, I guess. Just sort of, you know, we'll see where some of these stories take us. But a near-death experience, I don't think that's what this guy was talking about. He was just tripping out. These guys were just kind of, I don't know, having weird dreams or something. But some people have these near-death experiences. It gives them a glimpse of the great beyond. A near-death experience, or an NDE, is a profound psychological event that may occur to a person close to death or is not near death, but in a situation of physical or emotional crisis. Being in a life-threatening situation does not constitute a near-death experience. It's a pattern of perceptions, creating an recognizable overall event that has been called near-death experience. Okay. Across thousands of years and cultures around the world, people have described powerful experiences that follow this general pattern with its common features. Experience involves perceptions of movement through space, of light and darkness, a landscape, presences, intense emotion, and a conviction of having a new understanding of the nature of the universe. An NDE may begin with an out-of-body experience, a very clear perception of being somehow separate from one's physical body, possibly even hovering nearby and watching events going on around the body. Like seeing a big eagle dropping a big sticky load on you. That was weird. So you're moving through great speed in a fantastic landscape, encountering beings that may be perceived as sacred figures, deceased family members or friends, or unknown entities. Nasty. A pinpoint of indescribable light may grow to surround the person in brilliant but not painful radiance. Unlike physical light, it is not merely visual, but it is sensed as being an all-loving presence that many people define as the supreme being of their religious faith. So it happens across all people all across the world. So some people think there's something to this, that people, no matter where they come from, have the same experience. And isn't that maybe proof that there's something from the great beyond pulling us closer and closer to the light? But it says here that it's only natural people want to understand the biological or psychological origins of experience. A variety of neurological and chemical explanations have been proposed as the cause of NDEs. Lack of oxygen, excessive carbon dioxide, oh no, that's no good, seizure activity, the effects of drugs such as DMT or ketamine, hallucination, psychological avoidance of death, normal shutting down of brain activity, and a dozen or more possibilities. So I thought somewhere, I don't think I had looked it up, but I thought that I have read somewhere that DMT was or is the chemical released when you're in that state of moving on to the next life, that you get this blast of that in your brain. So maybe has something to do with it. And maybe I should listen to some more Joe Rogan or something to figure that out. What other tabs we got open here? We got a bunch of tabs, of course. Glimpses of the afterlife. We want to hear about some first-hand accounts. We want to find out for sure. Rogan. I should call him Joe Rogaine because he doesn't have any hair. Belief that there's another life awaiting us after our mortal existence ends is widely held and predates recorded history. Egyptians believed they had the land of the dead, and Christians believe in heaven as a reward, or hell as a punishment. Or mostly we're going to talk about heaven. We've already talked about hell on another episode many years ago. I guess 1 year ago. Go back and watch that. There's no definitive proof that life after death exists. There are some compelling anecdotes, however. There might be an afterlife. There's been countless reports. Recently departed, of course, have shown themselves as ghosts, and people have gone through the near-death experience. Of course, you got the tunnel and the light, the most common experience, rising or floating out of your body, and then flying towards the tunnel of light. A man named Tom Sawyer, and Monday Warrior, 1978, after an accident. He had an accident, so that's bad. Of course, these stories that involve people being in these experiences are not good. We don't think that's not funny. Actually, it's not funny. This is a serious thing, but it's an interesting thing to know about. I guess I just want to make it clear. I'm not trying to make light of people being in these terrible accidents and almost dying. That's not good. And you know what? If you have an experience like this, you live to tell about it, and something crazy happens, that's fine. You know, whatever happens, whatever you believe happened, it's all fine. It's just a little bit interesting to know if there is something beyond death. This is getting kind of dark now, so we get back to some of the funny stuff in a little bit. Turbo's a big Rogan guy. It's very clear now that I don't know how to handle this topic in a respectful way, but all in all, it's just something interesting to learn about, I guess. The darkness took the shape of a tunnel. It was very vast, as opposed to small and confining, and was anywhere from 1,000 feet to 1,000 miles wide. Whoa. It was very comfortable and inquisitive. It was cylindrical. If you took a tornado and stretched it out straight, it would be similar to that. Whoa. That's what happened to Tom Sawyer in 1978. Descriptions of an unimaginably beautiful land of color, light, and music. The place is described by those one where they felt totally known, tonally accepted and loved, and it made them feel safe and happy. It was timeless and spaceless. Distances recounted usually as expansive, being unimaginable or endless beyond what normal sight can perceive. This is what you're like what happens when you go to heaven. It's crazy. He described his distance vision, this guy did, Arthur Jensen. Beyond the light, what isn't being said about near-death experience? The mountains appeared to be 15 miles away, yet I could see individual flowers growing on their slopes. I estimated my vision to be about 100 times better than in Earth. Whoa. So when you're in heaven, you have crazy vision, like an eagle. You get super vision. Let's see, landscapes usually described as garden-like. The most beautiful garden I'd ever seen. I heard celestial music clearly and saw vivid flowers. Gorgeous greenery. 2 beautiful mountains. The tops were snow-capped and the slopes were adorned with foliage of indescribable beauty. To the left was a shimmering lake of different kind of water. It seemed to be alive. It was so vivid and green. So that's pretty much the descriptions that we see here. Is that it's all beautiful and it's green and flowers everywhere. It's like the background of the Windows XP, the big green sloping thing. Everything's perfect. Some people meet up with their departed friends. A poodle named Pepe. Oh no. This is the guy, Bryce Bond, in Beyond the Light, says that he met his dog Pepe in the great beyond. And she had an aneurysm, and that's not good. She was clinically dead for an hour, described seeing figures in the light. I didn't know if it was reality or projection, but I would know my grandmother, the sound of her. That's kind of sad. Maybe we don't want to read that one. We want to read some different ones. Here we go. Some enormous rooms filled with complex equipment. This guy was in the army. Several rooms, hooded figures bent over intricate charts and diagrams, or sat at the controls of elaborate consoles flickering with lights. I gazed into rooms lined floor to ceiling with documents on parchment, clay, leather, metal, and paper. Here, the thought occurred to me, are assembled the important books of the universe. Whoa. Sounds like some Star Wars stuff. And then, of course, ultimately you get sent back. The figure told me to go back, go home, get the heck out of here. Some people have negative experience. Oh, no. The man, I was in hell. This guy went to hell, so that's not good. Illusion or reality? We'll never know. So here we got the NDERF, Near Death Experience Research Foundation. All things NDE right here. Let's check out some exceptional. These are exceptional experiences. So I guess some of the other ones are just unexceptional, unremarkable. But these ones are crazy. This one's from Italy. These 3 pure beings spoke to me in a different language. They used my thoughts, but it was different than thoughts. They reminded me that I had chosen to be incarnate on Earth and that I had to go back. I already knew that by being by their side, everything was coming back to me. They gave me so much love. I was at home and I badly wanted to stay. I didn't want to leave. That's how it had to be. I remember laughing a lot with them. They understood me. Finally, someone understands me in the great beyond. You can have a lot of fun. And why the hell would you want to go back? That's what I want to know. Exceptional. I left the earthly realm and entered into an alternate reality. I saw a lagoon that was surrounded by beautiful plants. Everything was soft to the touch. There were 4 to 5 entities who were present, but I could not see them. They assured me that everything would be all right and that I could leave any time I wanted. They told me that this place was for me, and it contained all the unconditional love I had for others and that they had for me. And this guy's brain was completely drained of blood and filled with cryogenic fluid. My brain was frozen for 100 minutes. That's when he had this in DE, and that was last year. So we're glad that Scott is doing okay, and his brain and everything's back to normal. That doesn't sound like a pleasant experience. This one, the spirit guides were standing around a circular table. I had a dome in the center of the table. Looked into the dome and started my life review. Oh crap, I could witness experience from my life from many different perspectives. I felt what others felt from my actions from their point of view. That sounds terrible. But I knew I had to learn and grow from that. I remember hearing others cry, laugh, and other things because of what they did on Earth. My spirit guide told me it was okay. They were all loved. It was not judgment. I was told that we all learn best by experiencing it ourselves. Oh no. Accidental hanging at age 12. Whew, okay, this is getting dark. We just want to hear about some of these crazy experiences. I don't really want to know anything else about it. Glad that everyone's okay. This one's kind of weird. I think this person says a nasty word
and
here.
This recounting for the deeds of one's life is not like we would think at all in terms of this life.
This is
because what was important
Renee
were
Passero.
the choices that I made. And what was more important than just the choices that I made were my motivations and my intents and really the state of my heart in doing any single action. And I realized in this, because I experienced sort of in a holographic awareness that was rather instantaneous, how every action that one takes is like a stone cast in the water. And if it's loving, that stone, is cast in the water, and the loving action goes out and touches the first person that it's intended for, and then it touches another person, and then it touches another person, because that person interacts with other people, and so on and so on. And every action has a reverberating effect upon every single one of us on the face of this planet.
Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. That's what they say in science. I think that's what they're talking about.
So if I had committed a loving action, it was like love upon light. A purely loving action was the most wonderful thing that I could ever have achieved in my life. This had more meaning than to have been a Rockefeller or president of the United States,
Rothschild or Soros or any of these people.
A great scientist, and to have invented something just incredible. If I had committed a truly pure and loving action, it had reverberated throughout the stuff of every individual on that planet, and I felt that action reverberating through them and through myself. And I felt it in a way that is beyond what we can even feel ourselves.
Felt all the feels up there in heaven, reviewing your entire life. It sounds like a lot of fun to do that. So we got some other. This is from the Church of the Light.
I was pulled out of my body, and all of a sudden I looked down and I could see my body stuck in the mud.
Whoa.
But I'm in a body. I can feel it.
Stuck in
No
the mud.
longer am I cold and freezing and stuck in the mud, but I'm warm, and I'm filled with a love and a peace that I cannot explain. So in less than a microsecond, from freezing, cold, horrible pain, I was filled with love and peace and happiness and smiles. And as I looked opposite from my body, looked up into the tunnel, there I saw light. The light was so bright that it was
had to wear
10,000
shades.
suns. And I immediately said, this should be burning my retinas. But it wasn't.
Melting my face off.
It was a gentle but powerful light. It was pulling me. It was pulling me like a gentle magnet, closer and closer. And the closer I got, the more I was filled with an ecstasy, with a love, with an unconditional love of me as Andy. And as I got closer to the light, all of a sudden, I popped into a giant sphere. It was about the size of a basketball coliseum, and I was suspended in the middle of this
size of a basketball. He was just a little guy.
And all around me, at all parts of the sphere, up, down, sideways, left, right, all over, were miniature motion pictures of my lives and what was going on. And I could see, I could touch, I could feel, I could sense every emotion that was taking place in all of those lifetimes. And when I would concentrate on one, I would immediately be there. I would be reliving what I had lived, and I would remember the reliving.
Wow.
And then I would think about another area, and then I'd pop into another movie. And I would do this for some period of time, but you have to understand that when you're in the eternal now, time doesn't make any sense. So it isn't time like yesterday, today, and tomorrow. It's happening all the time.
Yesterday. That's crazy. So when you go to the afterlife, you have this thing where you see all of your past lives and stuff. You get to review all the stuff that you did. That I don't think I would like that. Exceptional experiences. Let's check this one out. This is this website, Victor Zamet. Victor Zamet.com, and he does his weekly afterlife report. See 15 interesting items in the report. No genius scientist, no genius skeptic been able to disprove the 50 areas of afterlife evidence. Let's check out the Friday afterlife reports. Alright, let's check this one out. Just a couple days ago, there's the latest and greatest afterlife reports from Victor Zamet. Let's see, iPad users don't support all the video formats. So I'm going to check that one out. Medical professionals are sharing afterlife experiences. Todd Michael answers his own question. Should medical doctors be talking about the afterlife? I guess. Competitive scientific institutions. Blah de blah. Blatant attempts to suppress and censor parapsychology research include raising false accusations, barring access to journals, suppressing papers and data, ostracizing and persecuting scientists interested in the topic. Oh no, we an indie, baby. We don't need this stuff. The doctors... Okay, bigger picture. Why knowledge of the afterlife matters. Short inspirational clip. Out-of-body teacher William Bowman. Let's see what this guy has to say. This is from the Afterlife Report. Secrets of the Soul. Beyond the astral.
Playing a multi-dimensional game of chess, but they don't know they are. They think it's a two-dimensional game of chess.
Kind of like President
Physical
Trump.
and the non-physical.
Four-dimensional chess.
Birth and death. That's the game they think they're playing. Earth and then heaven. That's not the game at all.
What?
People have no clue what the game is that they're even in. They're playing a massive multi-dimensional game.
They're playing a massive multi-playing role. What is it called? Massive multiplayer online role-playing game. Is that what it is? They're playing one of those games.
Dimensions within dimensions within dimensions. Lessons within
a lot
lessons
of dimensions
within lessons. We have to learn through our own experiences beyond the body that there's a higher game, there's a broader game, there's a much more exciting game that we're a part of. And once you learn what that game is, you can maneuver better in the physical world.
Okay.
The problem is that there's 7 billion people on the planet, and the vast majority of them don't have a clue what game they're playing and what the rules of the game are. And they believe some very primitive ideas of what the game is. Like you're going to be here one time, and you're going to go to heaven or hell.
It's time for some game theory, folks.
Ridiculous.
What?
But yet, billions of people essentially bought into that game scenario. The key is to know what you are.
Is playing chess.
The greatest problem of
humanity
today.
This is one for the Star Trek heads. He's playing that chess game they do on Star Trek where they have all the different levels and stuff. The four-dimensional chess. That's what he's playing. Multi-dimensional game. I don't know what this guy's getting at, but let's see. This video is almost over, thankfully.
Is lack of knowledge of self. If people knew what they were, there'd be no wars, there'd be no poverty, there'd be none of the ills that face humanity today. They would all be eradicated if people only knew they were a mortal, non-physical species evolving and using matter as a tool.
What?
If they knew these things, all the things on Earth would dramatically shift and change.
You're immortal? What is this?
It's so critically important
You're
that
an
people
immortal
own
being?
their power. Once you own that, there's no limit to what you can achieve. That's how you learn about what you are, where you're going. That's how you learn about the game you're playing.
Okay. And I guess this guy's books will tell me all about it. All of his books, The Higher Self Now, Secrets of the Soul. So his books will tell you all you need to know about the higher game that you should be playing. He's an author of Adventures Beyond the Body. How to have an out-of-body experience. Now, why the hell would you want to do that? He conducts an in-depth 6-day workshop, out-of-body exploration intensive at the Monroe Institute. His action plan for having an OBE. Wow. How they handle NDEs in their medical practice. I don't care. How Professor Barrett discovered deathbed visions. Oh, crap. Here's Dr. Ian Rubenstein, medical medium. He's an English doctor who successfully combines medicine and mediumship at the local level as a primary care physician. His fascinating book, Consulting Spirit, is the true story of a general practitioner who was drawn into the world of spirit mediumship and started receiving messages from his patients' deceased relatives. So that's cool. You can go get a checkup and have this guy tell you all about your deceased relatives or something. The Big Book of Near-Death Experiences. That's cool. People who weren't psychic develop the abilities after their near-death experience because they meet the light beings. We've heard about the light workers. Also, that guy was talking about the big exciting game. Well, let's take a little break here. This is getting too intense. So this guy was talking about the big exciting game, and I forgot that I had mentioned during the sports episode that I was going to do an episode about the big game coming up, which I realized is in like a couple weeks. So you got that to look forward to. We're going to do an episode about the big game and the football game. So that'll be kind of cool. And we're going to do some other episodes. Been preparing things and getting some other episodes ready. It's going to be a lot of fun. When you watch the episode, you're going to say, that is a lot of fun. Wow! My computer's still freaking out. Oh, God! I'm getting shocked over here. My laptop is spitting out sparks and crap. That's what made me think of it, is some other people were talking about how they were watching football, and I realized, oh crap, it's football season. It's time for the big game, the big playoffs, and here I am doing a stream. So on that faithful day when the big game, you can do some pre-gaming, eat your nachos and stuff, and listen to me talk about football. So that'll be kind of fun. All right, what else do we got on this here topic? The afterlife. Anything good? Anything good on the list here? There's a lot of weird stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I think I'm going to skip. Here's the Life After Death documentary. I don't have time for that. This one's kind of weird. This is... Maybe we'll do this on another episode. I didn't really think to include some of these things, but there's a thing called past life regressions. I learned about this when I went to the Paranormal Expo, and the lady was telling me about the founder of the publishing group that she worked for or whatever. She was selling these crazy books, and the founder sort of was a pioneer of getting these past life regressions out of people. I think there were all these books about Nostradamus, so I found some creepy videos of people being hypnotized. I just have the one video, but that was kind of interesting.
Brown, just brown, masculine.
Brown. Brown toe.
Your feet are brown?
Yes.
Oh no.
Women's feet.
Yes. Tell me more.
Oh no.
I see off in the distance a pier like that's made by native people, perhaps out of I don't know, this bamboo, something. It's near a village with grass huts.
All
I
right.
don't see them, but I feel
Seeing
like
grass
they're
huts. It's
So-
gonna be bad.
Allow yourself to get closer to these huts and let's see what's there.
Speaking of football,
There's people, children,
huts,
women,
hut.
men.
How are they dressed?
Oh god.
The men have loin-type cloths.
Okay. Let's fast forward. What else stuff is he seeing? This is his past life.
You are love. Get the hell out, my friend. It is time. You are wasting time. Get out and be love.
Oh no. The
You
hell?
are love.
Get
So
the
where
hell
should he
out.
be going to accomplish this?
Where your heart leads you, stupid. Of course you know it. You know it. Okay, Quincy. All right, okay, you've picked the name Quincy. You've looked at the map, you've looked at the QHHT people. There's nobody there. There'll be
HTTP
plenty of
colon
work to
backslash.
do. They will come. It will happen. Just let it be. Let the open doors open.
Let it be.
Of course, you know this, and you're here to verify it. But thank God you're awake, my friend. We need you. We need you now. It is important.
So how are the people going to find him?
They will. There will be time. They'll just gradually. It's not going to be overnight.
Okay. It's kind of like people do channeling and stuff. They just talk about how they're from another dimension or something, except they're being hypnotized. It's kind of weird. Here's one. The psychic has conversations with heaven. So there's some different ways to get in touch with people from the great
That's
beyond.
the forecast. Carrie Lee, back to you.
All right, thanks so much.
This
All right,
guy's
what if you
got
could
it.
reach the other side? Talk to family members, loved ones, people from your past. Matt Fraser is a psychic medium and the author of the book, The Secrets to Unlocking Your Psychic Ability. He joins me now. Good morning to you.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
Well, good to have you back. Last time you were here, we had a big response. People were really interested in you,
People
what
were
you do.
loving it.
Remind people again how this gift came about, how you discovered you had it.
Well, my grandmother had this ability, but back in the day, nobody was allowed to talk about it. My grandmother did this back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. It was kept, close for just friends and family members. Nobody talked about being psychic or being a medium or talking to the dead. And when I was growing up, I too was seeing and hearing the departed. And, later on in my teens, I decided to run with it. I realized it wasn't something to be afraid of like I was when I first discovered I could see and hear dead people.
And since then,
He was seeing the departed. These guys from Connecticut. He's got that accent. I thought that was kind of, that's why I liked interested in this video.
you've written a book, you're packing, in fact, you have a
movie
bunch of
with the
sold-out
rat.
shows coming up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Clearly, people are very, very
departed.
interested. And you describe yourself as having a different brand than some of the other mediums and psychics, or so-called claimed medium and psychics. What is the difference between your style and you and them?
Well, I like to be
guy's
to
new
people
school.
a resource or a tool that they can use to talk to somebody on the other side. A lot of times people pass, and I think the reason why people come to me is because there's so many questions when you lose a loved one. You think, is that person at peace? Can I talk to them? Are they really on the other side? Is there an afterlife? Does heaven really exist? So I like to go and help people to find some of the answers. So many times people are left without saying goodbye. They don't have closure for a person's passing. So what I do is I put that person back in touch with that person on the other side. And I like to bring a lot of healing and closure and help that person to really move forward past the grief process by hearing from their loved one on the other side.
Because that sudden silence is tormenting for so many, isn't it? Just suddenly their loved one's voice stops. You know, it's something that a lot of people, you know, probably wonder, you know, do you just walk around and this stuff comes to you? And you were explaining to me, you always kind of have to be listening because you're not trying to channel it, and you can't channel it. It's just happening around you. You're just listening, and you're just sending messages.
Stuff.
So those on the other side are always speaking, and when I walk into a room, it's like fast conversations. Is that I'll hear, okay, this one had a husband that passed. This woman over here lost her son. You know, that guy in the corner lost his father. And basically, I'll see their loved one sitting behind them, and a lot of times I'll feel compelled to go up and pass a message to them and let them know that.
And what is the response?
Well, the response varies. There's some people who are overwhelmed and they're crying, and there's other people who are just, you know, stone-faced and they don't know what to make of it. They don't know what to say, and there's others who are excited. And one woman I was talking to today in the studio, one of her friends that had passed, and I think she just ran away from me. So
because it came out of nowhere, she's like, "Wait, what's a medium? What are you telling me?"
Absolutely. So a lot of people don't realize that, you know, this is something that people have. It's a gift that you can use to connect to the side.
It's a gift. This guy is. I'm still here. That hurt. The sparks going everywhere. I hope I don't see the other side. My computer blowing up on me. I don't think I would be going up to people and saying, "I see your dead relatives standing behind you." I think that would be kind of weird. This gives us Botox. That's good. Medium is one size up from small. I got this guy's website pulled up somewhere in here, somewhere amongst all these tabs, and this is kind of cool. I got a tab manager now, so it makes things a little bit easier to see what all these tabs are. Heavenvisit.net. Is that it? No. Let's see if I can find this website for this guy. What is his name again? Matt Fraser. Here it is. We got a million tabs. Here he is. Matt Fraser. When Heaven Calls, Life Lessons from America's Top Psychic Medium. Of course, there's the Long Island medium. This guy comes from... Here, Meet the Frasers. Meet the Frasers. He's got a TV show on E that you can check out. Meet Matt. Let's meet this guy. He had a psychic mother and grandmother. Probably shouldn't have been a surprise. They had inherited the gift. But when your biggest concerns are what flavor of ice cream to choose, strange voices calling out to you in an empty room are not exactly on the menu. Oh crap, he had heard voices and stuff. That sounds creepy. And he began to see full-body apparitions standing in my doorway, passing through my room. This sparked a whole new level of concern. That is freaky. That is freaky. How far they would go to get my attention. It's kind of like the Sixth Sense. His grandmother grew up in a strict Catholic household. I mean, you can't be doing that psychic stuff. It's got a long story here that you can read about. Some of this stuff's not showing up here. It's probably because they're hacking into my computer. Would be my areas. Your loved ones are always with you. You can check it out on the E channel. The Psychic Medium. He's the top psychic medium. So we'll probably do a whole other episode about psychics, because that's just a whole thing. He's got his whole family there. Well, everybody's a medium, a psychic in this family, I guess. Meet the Frasers.
Who is missing the finger?
He had that trigger finger.
The most important finger?
The most important finger. We're not going to watch that, but you can check it out on the E channel. I'm wondering who is sending me dimes. Diane Archambault says, I wonder who is sending me dimes. I think I know, but would like to know who tells you. What? Met Matt in an assembly for Man Group Energy. Never talked to him personally, but just watching him, listening to him, seeing the validation, he's like a machine gun. He was just able to say things so quickly. told his mom Angela that he's the best, and as far as I'm concerned, I haven't seen or heard anybody better, and I've listened and watched quite a few. Thanks, Matt, for a good experience. Angela, thank you for your kindness, and remember, and you showed me a kindness with you. You made me feel like I was somebody. I really enjoyed it. God bless you. All best of luck on your TV series. Thanks, Dennis. I love it. Couldn't believe it. Way to go. Congrats on the show. So congrats, this guy's got a show. Alright, we're going to get into... Let's go straight on to some weird stuff. If anyone wants to read some near-death experiences, maybe we can do some of that. But I wanted to get on to something truly strange and weird. Let's see. And can we find the tab? This is playing the game of finding the tabs. Doodly-doo. We're gonna watch this part of this because we're gonna learn a little bit about what is it called? I don't even know what it's called anymore. ITC is the abbreviation. If I can let me just go to the website first. For God's sake. worlditc.com. Now this is crazy. This is some weird stuff. This is some stuff that I found out about on the Ghost episode, because we looked a little bit about the spirit boxes and all that kind of crazy stuff. But this is about people who are getting transmissions from ghosts and things through the TV, through video means. Here's a little video camera, and through, of course, through audio as well. And there's spirit photographs. That's a whole other thing. Let's see if we can hear this.
The system on my side. Do these things sound like a gun? Sure, they're good.
Okay, and that's a ghost. That's a ghost in the telephone. Ghost in the machine.
Hi, this is George Meek. This is Constantine Raudin.
That's weird. Some weird stuff. I had to get into this because it's strange. It's called ITC, and what is it? Let's hear the introduction because I can't remember what the acronym is. What does it stand for? Instrumental transcommunication is what it is. The use of TVs, radios, telephones, computers, and other technical equipment to get information from the other side. So you don't need a medium. You don't need any of this crap. You just need your TV dialed in and take pictures of the TV, like these guys. Researchers from all around the world received pictures of departed colleagues through the television. That's kind of cool. That's like some ASCII art. Message received from a computer. And it's also kind of like the EVPs and stuff from the Ghost episode, where you hear voices and stuff. But this is a whole different thing. This is, whoa. This is through like video, and there's someone from the great beyond, a picture received through the computer. That's crazy. There's another image received through the computer. I don't have any information. There's a picture of some lady from Luxembourg. I've got some videos of some of this stuff. And we hear a voice. What is this? A voice. Some voices.
This is the seventh time that we accompany and guide you in your progress towards a free, wealthy, and sane future in which humanity would have stripped off the chains of intolerance and cruelty.
What?
A future in which it will be able to establish a fruitful and durable relationship with the lighter realms of existence. You are on the right way. You are a small number, but much depends on you and on your decisions those days. We trust in you.
Whoa! It's a voice. That was a voice received by an INIT member, Maggie Hirsch Fischbach of Luxembourg. It's Mrs. Doubtfire. It's pretty weird. Most of them were received in the 90s by a network of ITC researchers. INIT, the International Network for Instrumental Transcommunication. Somehow just can't remember the instrumental transcommunication. I think they could have thought of a more snappier more snappier way to say that, so it was easier for me to remember. So let me go back. There's a good video on this. So I was waiting and waiting to get to this. This is good stuff here. It's a classic. This is a Cool Stream classic. Vimeo, brought to you by Vimeo.
Now, according to science, when you physically die and when your brain stops functioning, that is it. That is the end. That's the end of consciousness.
Bro. That is it, bro. Calling Earth. 2017 documentary. Calling Earth. This is pretty good.
One day in the summer of 2002, Martha Copeland of Lawrenceville, Georgia, played back a sound recording she'd made earlier that day and heard the voice of her daughter Kathy disciplining her dog.
No.
That wouldn't have been so unusual, except that 6 months earlier, Kathy had died in an auto accident.
Oh, crap.
In September 2005, Vicki Talbot of Bellingham, Washington, received a message on her answering machine from her son, Braden. Braden had been dead for over 4 years.
Oh, crap.
In January 1994, Mark Macy of Boulder, Colorado, received a telephone call. The caller identified himself as a European psychologist named Konstantin Raudova.
This is Konstantin Raudova speaking.
Dr. Raudova had been dead for 20 years.
Jeez, creepy. So
One day in October 1987, Claude and Ellen Thorland of Sweden switched on their TV. Suddenly, this strange image appeared, and they quickly snapped it with their Polaroid camera. Only later did they learn that their friend Friedrich Jürgensen, a pioneering afterlife researcher who had died a few days earlier, was being buried at that very moment, 250 miles away.
In Hoover.
For more than a half century, people throughout the world claim to have communicated with the dead using instruments of modern technology, such as tape recorders, radios, telephones, computers, and video systems.
Wow.
They call this phenomenon instrumental transcommunication, or ITC.
ITC. This is the good stuff right here.
I think the reason that they choose to communicate with us like this is because this is the electronics age. This is what we accept.
The structure of the human voice.
In recent years, ITC has increasingly captured the attention of serious researchers, including doctors, engineers, and physicists, as well as scientific investigators of the paranormal. It has given rise to books, scientific reports, and international conferences held on both sides of the Atlantic. What's really going on here? Mainstream science tells us that nothing survives the death of our physical bodies. But that doesn't stop the flow of whispered voices, images, and verifiable information that seems to be flooding in from what some believe to be human minds inhabiting another dimension of existence. Is it possible that materialistic science has been misinterpreting the nature of human consciousness and therefore dismissing valid evidence for the conscious survival of physical death?
Science is a method of inquiry, not an ideology. And at present there are many scientists who believe in materialism, but this is really a belief structure or a philosophy. And science as a method of inquiry doesn't have to be committed to a particular worldview.
There's a lot of weird
science
stuff in
appears to preclude the possibility of an afterlife, but science evolves and there's no knowing what possibilities may be acceptable to a future science.
After 26 years of doing research and investigation in this field, I've concluded that there's more than enough evidence that there is life after death, that we survive our bodies' deaths.
The notion that hard evidence for an afterlife might be staring us in the face may be a stretch for most scientists. But that hasn't discouraged many respected researchers from studying such phenomena as near-death and out-of-body experiences, reincarnation, mediumship, and instrumental transcommunication.
Instrumental transcommunication, writing a bunch of books about it. This is a long doc here. It's pretty good. I don't know how much we can watch of it, but there's a lot of weird stuff in here. This was one that I was going to bring up during the Ghost episode. So I'm just going to jump around and see here. What's this one about? I've got some other weird ITC related videos, and websites, and all kinds of stuff, and all that. So let's check it out. Let's just jump ahead and see what this part is talking about here.
20 years and hundreds of experiments, and I know that it is a paranormal effect. Now, how many experiments have you done?
Skeptics insist that there's nothing paranormal about EVP. But are these dismissals based on a genuine understanding of the phenomenon, or are they simply expressions of unscientific prejudice? Let's take a look.
Let's take a look.
One of the most common skeptical explanations for EVP
These
is
damn
pareidolia,
skeptics.
the
Sick of
tendency to
these.
see patterns or hear meaningful words when in reality none exist.
Sick of these damn skeptics.
Is it possible that EVP is just misidentified noise?
We're talking about EVP.
That may be true of some EVPs known as Class C, which are often quite indistinct. But according to Alexander McRae, even Class C EVPs can be successfully verified by the use of voice prints.
You create a voice print of the EVP utterance, and then you say the same thing as you think is being said in the EVP utterance. So you now have two voice prints, and you just visually compare one with the other, and if they match, you're correct.
And there you go.
Another way to understand Class C recordings is to work with panels of experienced listeners.
You tend to find that the consensus will be among experienced listeners or trained listeners.
Get your friends,
Let's
gather
say,
around,
they were
listen to
ships,
some
radio operators, people like that, who were
EVPs.
used to listening to difficult sentences.
Pareidolia. This is
Yet
about
another way to make
EVPs.
Class C samples more
There we go.
intelligible is
We've
digital
seen one of
filtering.
these things before.
I call myself a philobibliac. I call myself a phil.
And finally, some Class
That
C
was me.
recordings may be inferred by their context. The previous EVP, for example, was received when Dr. Konstantin Raudova attempted to contact the deceased Russian poet Vladimir Mayakovsky.
Vladimir McRae. Whoa.
I call myself a
EVP samples in Class B are more intelligible than those in Class C, and most listeners usually agree on what they say.
Wow. Freaky.
And Class A samples are crystal clear.
Once earthly Jenny. Once earthly Jenny.
Once earthly
So
cherry.
while some EVPs might be the product of projection or wishful thinking, pareidolia fails as a blanket explanation for EVP.
Fail. Of course, these skeptics are full of fail. They don't know what they're talking about. So I'm going to check out. I'm going to have to fix something here real quick. I'm going to check out some more of these videos of intertrans communication, because there's some weird ones out here. I just wanted to touch on a few of them. Is it? There we go. There we go. Let's see if we can find this. What video do we got? Oh, no, that's not the right one. There he is, Matt Fraser. Here it is, psycho images. Psycho. Weird stuff. Let's see. There's the spirit boxes and all kinds of stuff. And here it is. Let's see this. Let's look at some video ones first, I guess.
De momento son solo imágenes, generalmente inmóviles y silenciosas,
VPs are freaky,
pero llenas de dramatismo.
These are ones that are on video.
Incluso sobrecogedoras, como las que ahora vemos,
Spanish.
obtenidas por un grupo de Tenerife en 1988 y que después de estas experiencias iniciales no volvieron a conseguir.
Psycho Imigianis. There's a picture of a ghost on the screen at some point in this. It's a ghost. Freaky.
Y otro rostro, el de un hombre que parece mirar torvamente a los experimentadores.
Ah, there's another one. There's a bunch of these. Instrumental transcommunication. Spirits. TCI Seattle. Instrumental transcommunication, where you can communicate with the afterlife and the great beyond. Okay, here's a method: video loop feedback on the tube TV using a camcorder doing the video loop. So you're bound to get some weird stuff, and using infrared. You're bound to get some weird stuff looping video and stuff like that. And here it is in Portuguese, in case anyone needs that. It's freaky stuff. Okay. There it is. Wow. It's a ghost. It's a ghost on the screen. So they do these crazy video loops, and then when they find something that kind of looks like a face, and maybe they find it, and maybe it just shows up there. Who knows? ITC. Here's another one of. It says Einstein. I think this is a Klaus Schreiber is the name of the guy that's doing some of these video. He's videoing the TV. This guy, Klaus Schreiber. He's a weird German guy. Here's another one. And that's a ghost right there. That's a ghost. And there's another ghost. This one's pretty weird. This is the Spiricom. I was going to do this on the ghost episode, but if we have time to cover it on today's show, we're checking it out. The Spiricom. So this sounds awful. This is like an audio type instrument that this guy used and hooked up all this stuff, radio waves and all kinds of crazy stuff to make these noises, and then a voice would come through. It's called the Spiricom. It's freaky weird is what it is. Oh.
If there be any friendly spirits present, who promise the love of God in the name
The spirits are taking over. The spirits are taking over.
Should there be any friendly spirits present, and what I'm endeavoring to do, I will welcome your help.
Okay, we're getting some spirits in
By
here.
way of explanation as to what I'm trying to do, should you not understand my presence here, I'm endeavoring to speak with you, whomever you are, from wherever you come, or from what age or point in time.
From whatever the hell.
Now, should you come from an age, at that point in time where you would not be familiar with what you see, the equipment you see here,
I don't think anyone would know what the hell that was.
called modern technology and electronics, may I please explain?
Please
These
explain.
are tape recorders, and should you have come from that point in time where phonograph records were first introduced, or before tape recorders were introduced,
For the 80s.
you might be familiar with a record where you play it, wind up a phonograph, put the needle on the record, and you can hear your favorite music,
And you can
or your favorite
do a little wicked what with your record too.
or playing from the contents of that phonographic
Okay, he's just going on and on. So he's gonna connect to the spirits here. I think we have to fast forward. Just don't have time to listen to him ramble.
TV camera on, sir. I said I just turned the TV camera on. Very well. You never know, Doctor. Yes, I understand, William. All right, now, very well. Now let's get on with this. And what I suggest, William, is that we disregard this audio project. Audio project?
This is the Spiricom. This guy Bill O'Neill. So he's getting the spirits to talk through the Spiricom, and what we're listening to is We're listening to the back and forth between him and the spirit, him in the present in front of his crazy machine, and the spirit talking through his device. So let's get back, hear what the spirit has to say.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see.
How much better it would be not only to be able to speak, but to visualize the subject who we're speaking to. You understand, William?
Yeah, I understand. Just a minute, sir. Just a minute. That audio just, I don't know, the frequency. There it is. Try it now, Doctor.
Very well, William.
I'm going to turn these other frequencies on too, sir.
Let's turn the damn... There we go.
Other frequencies are on now. They may be a little too loud. I don't know.
It's pretty loud. It's kind of hurting my ears.
Yes, I understand, sir.
Can you see me, William?
Can I see you?
Yes.
Where are you, sir?
I'm right there beside you, sir.
Wow.
No, I don't see you, sir.
He's got a little TV over there.
Well, that's the reason I turned the camera on, sir. You never know when you
You
understand.
never know.
Very well, William. Yes. You asked me if I had been North Carolina location during the Easter season.
Yes.
Well, William, you know very well where I was at Easter.
Yes, I know, sir.
I was here at your laboratory.
This ghost is kind of being pissed off.
Yes. Well, I was hoping I would get you to say that on tape, sir, so I could send it to George, and he would better understand.
Very well, William, however. You feel that they are certain frequencies down there in the...
Okay. God. Recipe of bread. He's talking to Daft Punk. He's doing the Peter Frampton thing. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, my goodness. That really didn't sound too good in my ears with that noise. Hurt my ears. Let's go to some ITCs. ITC Gym. Macy Afterlife, The Beacon. So this is some ITC reports. I'm not going to click on that. It doesn't seem too good. Afterlife descriptions. But they have this one. This one's kind of weird. Editor's note. More about the planet Varid. Sweejan Salter, our main ITC partner during the height of ITC contacts from 85 to 2000, was chosen by the 7 Ethereals to be the main intermediary between them and humanity, because she had a rare gift and working knowledge of how ITC works. Huh. So it's always the people on the other side that know how the intertranscommunication works that are able to communicate. I guess that's pretty helpful. The Ethereals told us she had lived in a parallel world, Varid. She worked in ITC before her death and chose to continue the work in spirit. She died in 1987, was put in charge of Earth contacts by Time Stream. Time Stream. The 7 said, Sweejan is a capable scientist and a simple, modest person willing to commit her talents to serving others. Planet Varid. In my world, the political development took a different direction than on Earth. The Second World War never took place on Varid. My father was secretary in a Bureau of Statistics. The bureaucracy is widespread in Varid. Actually, almost everybody is a civil servant, from the simplest market wife to the operators of elevators in the tall buildings. My mother worked in a small souvenir store. I had 2 brothers in Varid. From the age of 5, all children are brought up and educated in government-run schools. They are similar to what you know from Charles Dickens' stories. Okay? In the beginning, it was hard for me to be separated from my parents, but in time, I got used to the changes. State-approved educators took care of me and I stayed until my 12th birthday in this establishment. I learned all there was to know about parapsychology and healing. Planet Varid has a more open attitude about paranormal phenomenon than your world. Even as a youngster, I was introduced to and became acquainted with ITC. When passing into the spirit world, I was acquainted with many things, but do not think that the quality of life is therefore better on Varid. Medicine, for instance, has progressed faster on Earth. Oh no. On Varid, the parents select the future life partners of their children. My husband was picked by my parents, but my marriage was not a happy one. It was not nice. I do not like to think about it, but I was used to adapting to all situations and therefore my way quickly here. For the first time, I found happiness here that I could not obtain in my personal life. Whoa! Whoa! Crazy. This is some inter-trans communication about the planet of Varid. So I guess it doesn't have to be all about going to heaven. You could go to another planet. Fantastic travels. The arrival of spirits. Let's see. Here's another one about this guy, Conrad Lorenz. Well-known naturalist. Here we go. He was transported to us in a magnificent ship surrounded by people. Imagine a Viking ship in which his astral body was brought to his destination. He is still in a state of sleep, but it can already be observed that his features and his body are changing and becoming more youthful. Lawrence will probably remain in this regenerative sleep for only a short time. The sleep duration varies from one individual to another. It is generally about 6 weeks of Earth time. People need considerably less. So then she received a picture in his youthful spirit body. There he is. At the Time Stream sending station. So he's at the Time Stream sending station. Time Stream. He joined the group Time Stream, and so did Carl Gustav Jung, according to Sweden Salter, the person we were just reading. The conditions at research group Time Stream seem to be very Earth-like. Sweden is in a soundproof room in the lab, looking out her window, sees some animals. Her companion, Sir Richard Francis Burton, is taking care of horses and dogs. She explains that Mary Curie is presently working on another floor of the research building. In the Co-Time, although Madame Curie resides on a different level of spirit from the main Time Stream spirit group, it is interesting that Sweden does not say on another plane or in another dimension, but on the upper floor of the building. Well, apparently several levels of reality converge at the Time Stream sending station in what researchers are calling a dispassing point. Whoa, so everyone's going to the Time Stream, the supergroup of time travelers. Letter was sent to Ludwig at the ITC receiving station, Luxembourg. Edith's Travels of the Spirit. Whoa, Spirit Faces. I think I had this one. Contact. Experimenters received letter from Angel. Wow. Independent experimenter first to report to contact the reception of a color picture from his spirit colleagues. He woke in a strange-like trance with a compelling urge to try and experiment with this color television. This was unusual for him, other than paranormal video images had come across his old black and white set, and his spirit colleagues had always contacted him beforehand. So these people are they have their friends from in the great beyond are doing the same kind of thing. They're chatting back and forth. He climbed out of his bed, turned on his TV, and set up his camcorder. At the very moment he turned it on, this image of deceased voice pioneer Friedrich Jurgensen appeared on the screen for 24 seconds. During this time, a loud crackling noise came from the next room, and I believe it sounded something like this. Mr. Holmes remained seated and kept his focus on the TV. As usual, Mr. Holmes spoke to the TV. Okay, that's kind of weird. Anyway, that wasn't what I was trying to read, but this is spiritfaces.com. This is one of their magazines. Is ITC for real? It's for real. It's for real weird. There's Frederick Jurgensen. Received a computer. His image was received on a computer. There he is. This picture was received on a television. Imagine that. The message... Okay, and then Sweden from the Great Beyond said the transmission was supposed to go through this other place. It was not possible. The text was passed on unchanged by station Kotime to station Luxembourg. However, could not be sent directly to station Revenik. The picture transmission proved to be extremely difficult because of the primitive scanning system of your television sets. In connection with the human psyche, redundancies can develop quickly. Moreover, F. Jurgensen is residing on the 5th plane, and our picture technicians could barely stabilize him within the ocular's angle of convergence of coverage. Wow, that is crazy. So it seemed to be like they were having a lot of fun sending pictures and images back and forth through some of the different time streams to these different planets and stuff. This is pretty bizarre stuff. I want to see what the spiritfaces.com is all about. There it is. Looks great. Great looking website. Truth about the afterlife. Project Spirit Faces. The vitality ratio. My personal journey in a nutshell. About otherworldly issues. YouTube videos. We love those. Alright. These people get down and do all kinds of crazy stuff with these ITC things. Let's see. I wanted to go back here to ITC. World ITC. Okay, we already looked at that one. There's some weird stuff on here. Some sample contacts. Extraordinary voice. Those are freaky. I lost my tab. There it is. Klaus Schreiber. Whoa. French author Jules Verne sent a 3-page fax to Maggie Fischbach of Luxembourg. A picture of Hollywood filmmaker Hal Roach was planted by invisible hands in the Fischbach computer in Luxembourg. Gives a glimpse of the breathtaking beauty in that part of the spirit worlds called the 5th level, or the high astral planes. Let's check out this picture. Looks cool. Looks cool. Cool up there that's a picture of the 5th dimension. It's pretty weird. They come through the computer. They turn their computers off and they come back, the computer would be back on. And files, and they'd have all these new files. Sounds like what's happening on my computer. The computer's got a mind of its own. All the people in the picture are associated with Time Stream, a group of more than 1,000 spirit beings dedicated to the task of opening the veil by improving communications between our world and theirs. Wow. There's a letter from the Great Beyond. I can't read any of this. Spirit text. This is freaky stuff. They received this picture, and the 2 spirit pictures look different because our spirit friends tell us they are produced differently. The computer image was apparently created by spirit-side artists with a technique similar to painting in our world. The TV image was produced by a spirit world photographic process. Works from the other side to try to stop violence that affects children on Earth. She's associated with the Time Stream Spirit Group. Wow, that is crazy. I didn't really read too much about this. Here's a phone dialogue with a spirit.
Hello, Yes. I'll try to make it secure this time. It's a VLF receiving converter. Okay. The VLF receiving converter is a receive radio navigation. Taking that you have standard frequencies, secure and European LW broadcast. Yes. You have also a 1750 meter line free band and so on. You can have a converter. You simply connect the VLF converter to your...
So the spirit is telling him how to connect his radio antenna to convert the different things into different kilohertz and whatnot. He's doing some IT work from the spirit realm. Doing some troubleshooting about some of these spirit transmissions.
Okay. Wonderful. Technical side from this side. Thank you very much, Constantine.
That was weird. In the ensuing months, he reconfigured his system and have experienced improvements in the radio contacts. I suppose I won't be too surprised if one day I answer the phone and a friendly voice booms out from the receiver. This is Mark Twain. Reports of my death are still highly exaggerated. Man. So, if you believe, anybody believe that? I don't know. Don't know if I do that. These are pretty weird, and they're pretty weird. These are spirit friends singing through this guy's phonograph, or through his vacuum tube radio. Weird. Weird. This is weird. This is one of the weirdest websites. worlditc.org. Check it out. Whoa. That was crazy. It's scary. This is scary stuff. These are messages from beyond. Boo-doo-doo. I guess this is something to do with the Time Stream team from the Great Beyond. That's pretty cool. Some ethereal beings.
In the course of bygone decades, of thousands of earthly years, beings interested in human species meet to decide on the continuation of the project.
Whoa. Well, that's freaky stuff. This is part of a spirit box. Okay. I don't really know how to transition through all this stuff. It's pretty freaky. This is a Spirit Box video feedback loop. I don't know if this is old from the 80s or what. This is an old-timey thing.
Shadow Investigations and Research UK latest build the VFL box. VFL meaning video feedback loop was a technique used by researcher Klaus Schreiber in the 80s to capture the faces of spirit on screen using the video feedback loop method. The VFL box is a 50s radio enclosure. Main features of the VFL box allows video output to record the screen for review frame by frame from the session. The video feedback loop is captured on a wireless camera mounted to one side of the screen. An external microphone.
Thanks for watching the freaky stream.
Environmental sound along with the session audio,
this is
which has direct effect on the video feedback loop.
This is the box used by this guy Klaus Schreiber to produce some of your favorite horrific videos like this freaky thing. It's scary. It's not that scary. Well, it's probably time for me to go too. I've run out of stuff. I haven't run out of stuff, but I've run out of steam. And we'll come back to this topic because it's kind of fun, and I do want to read a little bit more about the Spirit team or whatever and see what that's all about, because that's pretty crazy. It's not something that I was familiar with going into this episode, so it's always kind of new to it's always kind of cool to find out something new on the show. That's something that we like, something that we really like. Oh, excuse me, I burped. All right, it's been a fun show. Thanks everybody for watching the show. I hope that we'll get the streams sorted out. I hope we'll get some of the streams sorted out, some of this weird stuff going on with these crazy interference that we're having. It could be some interference from beyond, or it could be some of these hackers. Who knows? Who knows what the hell's going on? Who knows what will be in store for the next episode? We'll find out on next week's show what happens, and I'll leave you with a big cliffhanger as my computer is just sending shock waves and shooting sparks everywhere. It's crazy, and I hope these hackers go away. Whew. Anyway, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a crazy show. We'll try to queue up some of this stuff to get us to play us out. See you next time. See you next week, next Sunday, for another episode of the Cool Stream. What the heck? It's crazy, as usual, and we've looked at some of the weirdest stuff I could possibly find. Ghosts talking through the computer. That's pretty interesting. We'll come back and revisit some more of this stuff because it's pretty cool on another episode. And we'll have an all-new topic next week. And I think that's about it. I think I've got everything queued up and ready to go. So, we will see you next time on the Cool Stream. We might have a cool, crazy new credits sequence to debut, which would be a lot of fun. And anyway, I guess that's it. We'll see you next time on the Cool Stream. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Beer Horse.
And we'll see you next time on the show. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Beowulf.
Thanks, Beowulf. Have a good one. Beowulf.
Dunk your head in the hell toilet.
I call myself a philobibliac.
For you, I gain access to the web.
I call myself a philobibliac.
Oh, it's so...
Oh, yeah!
You actually know what the fuck you're doing.
Oh, it's so good.
In the course of bygone decades of thousands of earthly years, beings interested in human species meet to decide on the continuation of the project.